Aloha, and welcome back to Atlas Insurance's Risky Business. I'm Sean Satterfield.
I'm Shane Choi.
And Shane, this is our last episode. I'm super excited for it.
Me too.
Yeah. Today we're gonna recap all the things that we talked about this season and really why we're doing this. And looking back, we've had some great leaps, and we've done, I think, a really good job of blending kind of the guests that we have, the questions we are. Yeah. And so I'm really excited. So
we've come a long way for sure since the beginning.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, so first of all, let's talk about why we did this.
Okay.
So the idea is really we want to share with the audience, some of the information about AOA insurance, but also other things that apply to owners, the board members, to the property managers. So it was really to educate the public. Yeah. And I think we did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. I think on a high level, you do a good job of educating the boards, but even in opening it up to a wider audience, I think it's very important, especially, if they can enjoy it from the comfort of their own homes or even their device. Mm-hmm. Just open YouTube app, watch it. I think that it just means a lot, just having the education at your fingertips.
Right. Yeah. Right. And this is my first podcast, your first podcast.
Oh,
and it really took a lot of effort behind the scenes. So first of all, we got to thank the people who have made this possible for us, especially the people in the background.
I know.
Yeah.
Kale and Socks.
And Kristen. Yeah. They did a great job, and all of our guests. So we can go through a little bit some of the episodes that we've had and kind of recap some of the highlights. Your favorites, my favorites. Okay. So let's start off with episode 1. Okay. What did you think about the AOA insurance overview?
Well, I think the first episode was definitely the hardest. Yeah. Because that's kind of where we're figuring out our dynamic, right?
Right. Yeah. Probably the most boring. This is you and I.
I mean, yeah, but I felt it was good.
It was good.
I think we took a while to just figure out like our dynamic, and of course we worked together. Right. Just figuring out how to speak with each other just on camera.
Yep. And especially how much we love each other.
Yes. Well, I have
from a platonic point of view.
Yeah. We'll connect with the bloopers on that later. I'm passionate about what I do, including, I don't want to say I'm passionate about my coworkers, but I appreciate my coworkers.
Yeah.
So that's why that's where I was coming from.
It was a good blooper. It was a good moment, and we all laughed. Yeah. So the first episode really was just an overview of AOA insurance. It really was for board members and property managers and even owners to understand what we go through to get AOA insurance for them.
High level.
Super high level.
And then going through like different coverages and just, I guess just a very small recap, right, of each coverage. Mm-hmm. I think that episode alone was very helpful just to go through.
You got a lot of views. It was very helpful for everyone. The second one was really with Keen. Mm-hmm. And Keen was really, he's one of the reasons why we can rely on our experts in the claims department. He's definitely top of that. So that he was excellent.
I was actually hoping to make that the first pigeon episode, but I completely forgot about it. And just roll with it.
Right, right. So that was important.
Yeah, I mean, Keen was good fun.
He was good fun.
A lot of good stories and
a lot of great stories, right? Yeah. And he could recap some of the claims stories and relate it back to our viewers.
Yeah, I think just having Keen just makes it real, right? Because Keen works with the clients. Mm-hmm. We work with Keen. Just hearing it from the host's mouth, just his experiences and really what he does on a daily basis. I think it's really puts it in perspective. Yeah. What value we add.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Then we went to Max.
Yes.
Yeah, and Max was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Max is a AOA attorney. A tremendous amount of knowledge. And I think that episode can highlight really what boards should look at, especially when it comes to D&O insurance and maybe some of the claims issues that we talked about a little bit during that side.
And I think having an attorney on the podcast really adds a different layer. Just different perspective, right? You're hearing from a party that maybe you wouldn't necessarily hear as a unit owner, right? Maybe the board.
Right.
To some extent, maybe the property manager
Right.
might hear from an attorney, but just hearing it from an attorney, sometimes you have to pay to hear, what an attorney has to say.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that is the hidden benefits is you really want as a board member, you want your property manager, your attorney, your insurance agent to know each other.
Right.
So that they can, work things out collaboratively and come up with the best solutions for the board.
Right. And pretty much everyone that we had on the podcast, they're very professional and they're professionals in their own fields.
Yep.
So I think that's also probably why we try to open it up to just wider range of different guests.
Yep.
So that we could hear their perspective.
Yeah.
Whatever topic it is.
And speaking of that, we had HHRF.
Right.
You did that by yourself.
Oh, yes. Yes. Not gonna lie, it was a little rough because, you and I have our dynamic, but our guests were just lovely, amazing guests. And, HHRF overall, it has, as we know, it has a very positive effect on local market here. But aside from that, just informational for unit owners, for boards to consider. Yeah. I think that was kind of like a big one that we wanted to just touch upon, because I think, knowing how to proceed with maybe do an application or just from the beginning to the end, I think there's a lot of value.
Yeah. And it was new. Last year, HHRF came through with bringing hurricane insurance. And I think their entering in the market was really positive. It caused prices, or not just them, but just prices across the board really came down, and they provided another avenue for associations to go through. Yeah. So that was really good.
Yeah. Really appreciate their attendance.
Yep.
That both of them could speak with us.
Yep, exactly. And leading into another outside vendor coming in was Tori.
Oh, Choi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
Yeah. I really appreciate the lending perspective is something that we deal with, even on like a very focused micro perspective, because we get emails from lenders, they
for the COIs.
They ask us different kinds of questions.
Exactly.
But then just hearing it from someone that kind of just goes through the process from the beginning to the end.
Right.
We just hear it from towards the end. I think a lot of it really helps to gain perspective.
Yeah. And especially that was one of the things that we needed to talk about, because a lot of lenders, especially when they're going through their process, the master policy needs to line up with the deductibles for the HO6.
Right.
And it needs to line up with all the requirements from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. So that was a huge episode that I think was very valuable, which actually leads to also the flood insurance with Hawaiʻi.
The flood insurance.
Yeah.
Yes. I would say that was probably my, I think I have a pretty good appreciation for flood insurance.
Right.
I think the episode was definitely longer than I think it was supposed to be. Just because looking back at the episode, I stopped you at one point.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you were going to stop it at one point, and then I was like, oh no,
you kept going.
Let's keep going.
and that's the relationship part that we have, is that we can adjust and we can adapt.
Yep.
And if you need to answer that one last question about what her favorite Sunday breakfast meal is, we need to ask those questions.
No, I was very passionate about flood insurance. A topic that very much interests me. So I just, because I wanted everybody to kind of know a little bit more, I just wanted it to be a little bit long, but maybe you could have saved it for another episode. That's not saying that Miley can't come back.
Oh, Miley's going to come back one day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. And then next we had Joe. And for building management, and what a great episode that was, to hear it from the perspective of a general manager and why they do what they do.
Yep.
And Joe's one of the best, so I really appreciated his feedback.
Right, and we really work with him just on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yep.
Helping him with, of course, we work with the insurance, but insurance also has to deal with vendors, right?
Yes,
on those requirements. But really what he does really helps. It educates or informs what we do, right?
Right. And he's that direct contact with the owners and the board. So it's really that liaison, if you will, to help, sort things out. If you need to, get letters out to the owners and, what deductibles they need or changes that happen, HO6 policies. He's really a good advocate for us. So
definitely
I appreciate that.
A general manager is a good person to have on your side, whether you're a unit owner or anybody else.
Right.
I feel.
Yeah. And another thing too is that when I look at some of the things that we did from a risk consulting standpoint, we had Choi, and Choi and his team does an outstanding job with helping the board, the general manager with, for example, with Joel, and just people in general to educate them on, what kind of value Atlas brings from a risk standpoint. Right. So the programs they put together for them with Alan and the other team members. So I thought it was very powerful.
Yeah. And I was actually just rewatching that episode. And one of the things that I really appreciated about the perspective that Joey brought is that, he actually does work, regularly with our clients. And then, I think one of the things that we talked about was just tangible benefits to the client. So just even like I think one of them was like monetarily, monetary benefits to the client.
Right.
Having citations removed or
for OSHA violations or other issues or just safety programs.
Yeah.
Having a safety program for an association or just a general business. Yeah. That's going to make a big difference between how they handle the insurance and even the safety side that we can train employees on. And that's just an added benefit that's included in the premiums that we offer. So it's a really good value add for the client. So that's what I'm really proud of.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, the value added definitely, I think, for videos or, just us talking about it, really, it makes it real. Rather than us, we can say it in an RFP or if we're going after a prospect or talking to associations, easy to, say that, oh, this is our services, but just making it like in a real story. Yeah. It really makes it tangible.
I agree.
To grasp that.
I agree. And a couple of the last members that we brought over was Charlotte on the personal lines. That was a huge benefit for us. And her team does a great job of providing us, or not only just us, but our clients, AOA associations, just HO6 policies, because there was a period of time where a lot of clients couldn't get HO6. And now, markets have softened. And so it's another opportunity for us.
Well, I think Sharon was really saying that the HO6 market does still need a lot of help, just like condo associations.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of assistance the last year, and that's really the reason why competition and the market has softened from the hard market.
Right.
I think a lot of what needs to be done is same thing with the HO6 market as well. But definitely, her team does a great job. Helping.
So I'm looking to reshoot that episode. That's going to be a great episode for us to do. The last thing to do is basically with Elaine and her team and the AOA group. I think it was great to introduce all of the team members, not all of them, but the important team members, and then, a little about their background.
Yeah, definitely. I think putting a face to the name really helps, especially we have property managers that deal with our account executives, kind of almost I would say on a daily basis. Even unit owners, they can just see, talk with their insurance agent, but just to kind of learn a little bit more about them. I think that really added a lot to, we know, professionally, we know our account executives, but knowing a little bit more about, who they are, just learning about them, and then you might hear them on the phone, but it really adds another layer just seeing them in person.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Last couple of things. Okay. Favorite moments, favorite bloopers, favorite opportunities where you had, you thought, okay, we got to redo this one, or it's something that stood out in all of our episodes.
I would say the first episode was definitely the most difficult.
Yep.
And I think the intro in particular was We had to reshoot that one just because I don't know, we kept laughing.
Right.
Having too much fun. I would say overall, like just the shooting process was very, very fun with with you, with Kale, with Kristen,
team.
The whole team.
Yeah.
Just really enjoyable shooting, and I've heard the same for all of our guests that they really had fun.
Yeah.
Just putting it together.
Yeah. One of mine was when I just forgot that Emlyn's was another guest.
Oh, yes. That was last week. I was put on the spot.
Yep.
No fault of my own, but also no fault of your own either.
What's great about our team is that we can adapt.
Yeah.
And we can come up with a solution really quickly.
Yes.
So that's the benefit of having experts and professionals who kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely had to shift them now. You had
I had a meeting that just went way too long.
Little late, but also just had to do what you had to do, right?
Yeah.
And same thing, I had to do what I had to do. I missed you.
Yeah, that's right.
We got it done.
Yeah. And I will say one of the toughest things about doing these podcasts is that it's live.
Yes.
We go through the whole process.
Yeah, and we try not to edit.
We try not to edit too much
so
of it. We just go right through it.
One shot.
And that's what's amazing too, is that our guests that came on, they do a really good job of just answering the questions. And it's real. I mean, this is like organic. Like when we screw up, you may be able to tell.
No, just conversation. That's whenever we have guests, we just tell them. It's just at least after the beginning, right? You look at the camera.
Right.
After that, it's just conversation.
It's just us talking with each other.
Getting them comfortable.
Yeah, we get them comfortable. So yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Well, this was an awesome season.
Mm-hmm.
I really look forward to our next season because we're going to have more guests.
Yes.
We're going to showcase more opportunities for our partners. We're going to we may even bring over like the behind the scenes people in front of the camera.
Yeah, I was
do that.
I was wanting Kale to come join us.
Kale and Kristen, the whole team, and so we may even interview maybe some of our senior leadership.
Yeah,
so that'd be kind of fun.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Jason or Carol.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Well, thank you very much, Shane. That was an awesome season. Good job.
Good job.
From all of us to all of you, thank you very much for tuning in to the Atlas Insurance's Risky Business Podcast. Again, I'm Sean Satterfield.
I'm Choi.
And aloha.
Aloha.